and there's always a little trickle of bad blood here and there. This one. The Gamecocks will put total weather to crank us up. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 12. The football first. And after that performance last week, Jesse, it'll be interesting to see if they can get the big tight end as involved as he was a week ago.
He really did, and he was good out in the field. He was good down near the red zone. He's a matchup problem that you know this quarterback is going to be trying to find early in this game. The defense has to have a plan for him, David. It'll be interesting to see how they try to defend him.
Right, and that's the problem. It's so hard when you're...
Pulls it in on the right. Oh, he's got some space. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Rebels!
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. From inside the 10, here he comes. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So the South Carolina Gamecocks offense will have its first possession of the game. It's not often we focus on a matchup quite like this, but David, we have a couple of premier tight ends in this game.
And we've seen it recently, right? Ty Warren last year, Brock Bowers the year before. Like, you can build an offense around an elite tight end, and both of these schools do it. The speed, the playmaking ability, the versatility. Palmer, I bet you wish you had a guy like this you could throw to.
You're right, David. I played with a lot of NFL guys at tight end, but none of them were as dynamic as these two right here. And you're going to see them get the ball in a variety of ways. We're seeing offense change in college football, and one of the biggest reasons is the versatility now at the tight end position, and these are 2 of the best in the entire country.
Might as well give it to him again. Got a little space. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Rides to back on the option, the give. And he's able to shed 1 tackle, but still just a very short gain. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Running back searching for a hole. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. A big 3rd down coming, and hotty-toddy, gosh almighty, this crowd is ready. Unloads it left. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. The Gamecocks come to the line trying to convert on 4th down. Short throw to the sideline is complete, and he's out of bounds after picking up a couple. The decision to go for it does not pan out. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Got it in the middle. It's Stribling. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. The Rebels want to crank the tempo. You know, you think back on the Jackson Dart era at Ole Miss, the best 3-year run in more than 50 years. Lost one deep down the right side. And it falls incomplete, but that could have been disastrous. A defender was right there. Looking to throw, it's Simmons. Oh, they're after him! Trying to buy a little time, and he cannot, but he does get it back closer to the line of scrimmage. Guys, let's talk a little bit about Ole Miss. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
Special teams coming through as they pin them back. They'll mark it dead at the 10. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Play fake. That's reeled in. It's Bennett. He'll get a fresh set it down, stopped at the 31-yard line. And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. Now, Lenora Sellers was sensational down the stretch last season when the Gamecocks won 6 of 7 games. Sellers threw 18 touchdowns, only 3 picks. What would you like to see from him, David, for the Gamecocks to become a force in the SEC?
It's not running, Reese. Like, we saw the physicality in the big runs, like, throughout the season, especially against Clemson ending the season last year. But to me, it's the passing game. It's the staying on schedule. It's knowing his answers and making the easy play sometimes. Continue to evolve as a passer with that big, strong body. You better look out, college football.
Gets his first one of the day away. Might be a little stiff. They only used him twice in that loss a week ago. They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. Snags a quick pass on the left. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. They're dealing with a second and long. They'll run it from the gun. Makes it past the marker. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure it to first down. And the Rebels come to the line in the hurry-up.
And how about the running back, man? Rips off a big play. This offense creates some momentum. And what do? They keep their foot.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes as an offense, you're hoping the run fake's going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
The Rebels trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They'll run play action. Finds the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. From the gun, running back gets the give. He's brought down at the 49. That is well short of the first down. And the Rebels will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Nice job to make the fair catch at the 16. Make sure that ball didn't bounce into the coffin corner. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Grabbed in the middle. It's Harbor. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. First down here for the offense. It's reverse. Look out, he's got room. Got enough for the first down and wants more. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays. Little touch pass to the receiver. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4. They'll try the left side. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up up on third down. Grab near the marker. It's Jacobs. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27. On the move. He's going to lose a yard on that one. The lost yardage leaves him with 2nd and 11. Looking downfield, it's Sellers. Got his man quickly. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Those two failed to make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. This might be a little easier if it were straight on, but a 43-yarder from the right hash. He splits the uprights. That'll bring him to within 4.
Man, have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Off to a good start here, and back to work now with a 7-3 lead. Makes the catch. It's Lee. Moves up to the 34-yard line, giving him a 10-yard pickup. The Rebels want to move quickly.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Grabbed behind the line, it's Wallace. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
Well, that's their 3rd sack of the game, and we knew statistically coming into this game, this is one of the top 25 units in the nation getting after the quarterback. I just love how athletic they are up front, and they are giving this offensive line headaches and nightmares up to this point of the game.
And the Rebels decide to punt it away.
On to kick it away.
He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. First play of this drive will start from the 31-yard line. To throw, it's Sellers. A strike downfield. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. Leaves it with the back. Running to Green. Continuing to turn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. Power football with the run. Fighting off the defender. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41. This offense has been sluggish, to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. He is going nowhere. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Softened him up with a run, and now to throw. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. It'll be 3rd and long. Looking to throw. The screen, he's got wheels. Brought down at the 37-yard line, and this defense denies them on 3rd down. And the Gamecocks will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And that one will bounce and roll out of bounds. Let's see exactly where they mark it. it fired complete. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. The Rebels want to pick up the tempo. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Lee. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. And the Rebels really need to keep this drive alive on third down. Dropping back, it's Simmons. Fires to the wideout. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. Fourth time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Makes the signal, secures the fair catch, and they'll put it in play at the 37. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
They go to the ground. Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17. The Gamecocks with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Just feeds the running back. Wrestled to the ground, but he's inside the 10 and down to the 9. First and goal for the offense. Snap in the shotgun. Back's got it. Touchdown, Gamecocks. The offense puts up 6 for that trip to the end zone.
Love the thought process by the quarterback here on this play. Nobody open in the end zone. Find your check down. Find the running back. He does that, and once this guy's got the ball in his hands, he shows you that elusiveness and his ability to sniff out the end zone.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra. Check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. Kansas State needs to pick up the pace, but this puppy is far from over. And with this crowd there and the Little Apple behind them, I'm kind of banking on a comeback. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Texas Tech. We'll circle back if anything changes in this interesting Big 12 matchup. Back to you guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. It'll be a draw. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They've already punted 4 times in this game, and they're about to run the guy out there for a 5th time if they don't pick up the first. And the quarterback caught up 2 and sacked at the 12.
And it's been that kind of day so far for this offense, guys. This quarterback has never had an opportunity because he keeps getting sacked. That now already the 4th sack of the game. We're only in the second quarter. I guess the only good news, he hasn't turned it over yet. He hasn't been forced to throw the ball up into coverage, into a bad spot. He's been good about just eating the football, but they've got to find a way to find some rhythm here in the passing game moving forward.
Take the return out of the equation in this rainy weather. Fair catch is signaled for and made. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. The give to the lone running back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. And the Gamecocks in a good spot here with second and short. Looking to throw, it's Sellers. And the pass is incomplete and jarred loose by the hit. A big third down coming, and hotty-toddy, gosh almighty, this crowd is ready. Looking to throw for it. Under fire. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
These are the plays as a defense that mean so much for so many reasons. Getting in the backfield, obviously getting the sack, so putting him a little bit behind the sticks, but also hitting that quarterback, making him think. That goes a long way in disrupting the quarterback's rhythm.
The Gamecocks will punt this one away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. And the punt hits at the 6, and they can't down it, and it'll be a touchback. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Got it in the middle, it's Haas. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. The Rebels in the hurry-up. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but it makes life really easy on me on second down.
He'll ride his man on the option. The pitch. Perfectly timed on that pitch, and they pick up the first down on the play. A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. On the direct snap, it's Taylor. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. They'll get right back on the ball, and they'll go really quick, so you got to be prepared.
He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The give to the back. There he goes. What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line. The defense uses their second timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. And the Rebels will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Second down.
He'll keep it himself. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run. The Rebels are threatening on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and looking for the end zone. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. They've moved it right to the edge, and they need 1 more yard for the touchdown on 3rd down. Stopped in the backfield, and this defense has forced him into 4th down. Instead of opting for the chip shot field goal attempt and tying the game, these guys want to take the lead. Will not get there. A 4th down stop. And the Gamecocks buried deep in their own territory, just trying to find breathing room on 1st down. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Chance to build a little momentum here by converting this 3rd down from deep in your own territory. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Release to the back. Got his man. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Tried to pound it on 1st down, now back to the line. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. They'll knock him down after a 6-yard gain to the 27. The Gamecocks come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. To the ground to try to pick up the 1st. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. And the Gamecocks will call on their punt team. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. Off the nice run there, picks up a few, and they'll force him out of bounds. And the Rebels can really attack on this 2nd and short. Leaves it with the back. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Caught over the middle. It's Taylor. They make the stop, but how about the shot this sophomore quarterback took as he delivered the ball? Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running. Wants to go up top. Pocket breaking down. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He gets the job done, picking up the 1st down, then getting down. Clock stops momentarily for the 1st down. They'll hurry to the line. Dropping back, it's Simmons. Takes the grab, it's Lee. Caught, and he's close to a 1st down on the nice pickup there. The Rebels can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He gets right to the edge of the red zone. He's out of bounds at the 20. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. On the ground, it's Diggs. Powers through the defender. And they'll bring him down after a short pickup. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. He'll take a shot. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off.
You know, as a defensive back, you want to force the quarterback to make plays way outside towards the sideline. That's a long throw. It requires a lot of arm strength and a lot of touch at the same time. Great job forcing the play out wide, making the big interception.
Waning seconds of the 1st half. Let's see just how aggressive they'll be. They'll try the run. Jukes his way for more. And he's able to bounce off 1 tackle for a solid pickup. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A memorable 1st half of football so far today in Oxford. And this has just been a passing clinic, really, by both offenses. They've effectively stretched these defenses, forcing the secondaries to cover every blade of grass, and they've still racked up big plays. Man or zone, pick your poison, or lay some blame at the feet of those pass rushers who can't do anything against the maulers on that offensive line. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Vaught Hemingway.
And the Rebels will kick it off to start the 2nd half. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or 2, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They opened this 3rd quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the 2nd half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
Looking downfield, it's Sellers. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down. The Gamecocks will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 5th kick of the night. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he's stopped. Looking to throw on 1st down. That's caught. It's Stribling. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st.
Well, the offense trying to attack the perimeter of the field in the passing game. And how about the sweet feet by the receiver on that play?
Who doesn't like a little dash of the arts with their football? A little ballet moment there. Making side adjustments here. The toss to the outside. Breaks into the open. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. The Rebels will hustle to the line.
And how about that? Right after they get the explosive play running the ball, they're going right back to the line of scrimmage for some tempo.
Unloads to the wideout. Complete downfield. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense understanding, listen, that QB is a threat. And they're going to run all kinds of options, and he's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
He'll be pulled down after a good run. They'll mark it at the 15. Looking to pass, it's Simmons. Serious arm strength on that third down pass, but it's incomplete. And the Rebels will go for it here on fourth down. Trying to keep this drive alive. That'll be enough to give them a first and goal from the 10. This offensive scoring position with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. The screen, he can go. He found some running room and needed just a few inches more to put it in the end zone. They'll try to run it in. The draw draws nothing except a swarm of tacklers. He's stopped immediately. Huge play in the red zone. Third and goal coming up. They'll run it. Touchdown, Ole Miss! They take the lead with the 6.
This is a guy that put a lot of pressure on himself coming into the season. He felt like he was ready to have a breakout year. He knew he had all the tools in the toolbox to be able to get it done, and he's showing it. That's his 10th rushing touchdown on the season.
The AT unit on the field. And with the extra point, they're up 14-10. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, want to jump in and let you know what's going on in this top 25 showdown. SMU is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, he could join former Heisman winner Doak Walker among the legends to wear that uniform. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by 1.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Oh, look what I found. I'd say that's a stroke of good fortune. The offense keeps it. And the Gamecocks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Terrific job getting to him. There was nowhere to go. They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass.
Got like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
The Gamecocks will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. Really good balance on that last drive. They mixed it up all over the place, Jesse.
Yeah, how...
Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
Strong safety blitzes can sometimes be hard to see coming from a quarterback standpoint because we're used to seeing the strong safeties insert themselves into the box, but you don't oftentimes see them blitz like that. That can be tricky to watch.
The Rebels have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. got it behind the line. It's Wallace. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Touchdown, Rebels! They won it all, and that is exactly what they got.
A lot of times you see those receivers, as soon as they get by the DBs, you know, that hand goes straight up in the air. I got him. I got to step on him. He got to step on him. And the ball is thrown perfectly out in front. You can see he runs underneath it.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And he made that extra point, the wet turf, no problem at all. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they close the deal from 43 yards out with a touchdown pass. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Makes the grab on the left. And they pick up just a few on that completion. So now it's 2nd and long. Wants to throw. It's Sellers. Here's the pressure. Took a shot as he threw.
And this is why this team is losing this game. They cannot protect their quarterback. He's already been sacked a bunch of times. Almost got sacked right there. This guy doesn't have a chance.
He's going to let one fly down the middle. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. And the Gamecocks line up to punt it away. Just needs a crack to get a return. Looking for running room, he'll get it to the 43-yard line before he stopped. The give out of the gun. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. And the Rebels racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And you gotta love this defensive performance so far. Done such a good job against the running back that you saw last week, man. He can go off. He can make big plays. He can chew some yardage up and keep an offense on schedule. Nice job by this defense locking in and shutting down the run game so far.
And how about that alertness and that swarming D to keep him from getting the first down? The Rebels send out the punt unit. We've seen a lot of the punt team 6-time tonight. Fair catch is made at the 15-yard line, and that's where they'll start this drive. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They've punted the last 3 times they've had it, and now really needing to put a score on the board on this possession. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. He'll pull it on the read. Maybe a 3-yard pickup there, 3rd and long coming up. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Grab near the sticks. It's Jacobs. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30. Give to the running back. Pretty good job of running to get 2 there to the 32. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. The give on the option. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. To the air, it's Sellers. He lost one down the sideline. Got it in stride at the 15. That is exactly what you want to do with the football. He's got it all the way down to the 15-yard line. They're going back to the ground. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. The 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Pressure coming. And the pass rush gets home.
That's his second sack of the ball game. That dude is getting after the quarterback offensively. What's my adjustment? First of all, I'm going to roll out away from him. I'm going to double team him. Let somebody else beat me, not that guy, because his speed off the edge is killing me.
And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. Tried to give it enough body English, but he missed it. My goodness, you need those field goals, guys, to cut into that deficit. We're still at 11. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Here's the handoff. Gets it past the marker. Turns it on in midfield. Turning it on. Touchdown, Ole Miss. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. They've got the lead and trying to put this one in a hammerlock here in Week 10. There's a reason they call this dude a big playmaker. Moments just like that one.
Big time playmaker. Can make plays all over the field from all different spots. That's why you got to find ways to give him touches as much as possible, because he'll make it happen.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, they're on top by 18. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown just like that. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Wide receiver going in motion. Back to pass, it's Sellers. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. Ball will they dial up on second, and a long way to go. Looking to fire. Catch in the middle, it's Smith.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? Second down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this third down manageable. Really nice job of executing that.
He now has 84 yards rushing, and that should be no surprise. He's been among the nation's elite all season. They'll give it to him again. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice gain. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody, based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. So first down, we'll open up the final period. To the air on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Second down, they'll go to the air. Pulls it in, it's Brown. No chance to run, but still a good gain. The Gamecocks come to the line on third and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Caught near the sticks, it's Harbor. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. Back to throw, it's Sellers. Unloads to the right. It's caught downfield. Touchdown, South Carolina. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
It's so nice to have these big playmaking tight ends that are basically oversized receivers. Make a play down the field to him, huge catch radius, makes the play, and then I love the run after the catch. These guys can do this nowadays. He does the rest of the work and gets into the end zone.
Ready to try the point after. And they make the extra point to draw closer. It's 28-17. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, one of the biggest games of the week is playing out right now. Let's check in on this top 25 battle. SMU is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, he could join former Heisman winner Doak Walker among the legends to wear that uniform. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by...
Oh, he's got some space. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. And the Rebels moving quickly to the line.
And how about the QB? We haven't seen it all game long, man. Nice job coming up big in a big moment in the fourth quarter. He says, nobody there, takes off, does it with his feet, and gets the first down.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. The Rebels will send out the punt unit. They'll look to pin him deep. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Scanning the field, it's Sellers. Zings it complete to the right. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. And deep down the left side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. A big 3rd down coming, and hotty-toddy, gosh almighty, this crowd is ready. Bringing the heat. Snagged in the middle, it's Brown. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs. He wants to throw it again. Finds his back in the middle. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. They run the reverse. What a tackle in the backfield. He'll lose 6 on the play. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Lofts one high and deep. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted.
And I love this defense understanding situational football. You got the lead in the 4th quarter. Get in your nickel packages. You know the pass is coming, and the execution was great.
Yeah, they thrive on takeaways, and they love to get into games late with the lead because one of the strengths of their entire team is their secondary, and you saw it there. In nickel, they're able to come away with the pick, and it's looking like they're going to be able to seal this game.
The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
And there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football. Make your plays. Put a good drive together here.
Defense there to stop him after a gain of 1 to the 22. To the air, it's Simmons. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. Punt is in the air. Fair catch is called for. In the midst of all this rain, just concentrate on one thing, making the catch. He'll do it himself. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down. The Gamecocks with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They'll give it to the back. There he goes. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down. Give him 109 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing. Oh, he'll keep it on the draw. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Just gets rid of it before the heat. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing. Now facing a 3rd and long. The snap sets up the throw. Just threw that one away to avoid disaster. And the Gamecocks will punt it away on 4th down. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. Ole Miss ready to send the offense onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. To the air, it's Simmons. Grab behind the line, it's Haas.
That is how you play defense. You drop back, you let him catch the football, you go attack, you don't let him break tackles. Really nice execution by the defense.
And the returner will be brought down. And let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. The Gamecocks now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. Second down, he'll throw it. Trying to set up the screen. Several defenders there to get him on the ground. The Land Sharks circling. Crowd getting this defense whipped up on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his tight end. He'll be brought down at the 41-yard line, not close to the line to gain, and it's 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Incomplete on 4th down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. And the Rebels are in the hurry-up.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
And just wedges it ahead a bit before he's brought down.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the 1st down. Dropping back, it's Simmons. Catch in the middle, it's Haas. They'll pick up enough yardage for the 1st down. They've got it at the 30.
Well, this defense has given up some big plays in this game so far, but they've got a lot of talent on that side of the football. Someone has to step up here, make a play, get a stop, and put their team in a position to win.
Wide open downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The Rebels with the 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. He caught it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels! They add on another score, and now that record so close to going to 8-1 on the season.
And this offense continuing to put up points. This game's out of reach. You know you're going to win, but still throwing the football, still finding that connection. I imagine there'll be some salty handshakes at the end of this game.
And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the fourth. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead.
South Carolina, 17.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or two, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on fourth down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but, Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
Stopped at the 47-yard line, a 10-yard gain, and they'll move the markers.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Looking to throw, it's Sellers. Hit as he throws. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete. It'll be third and long. Wants to throw again. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Touchdown Gamecocks! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Lining up for the PAT. And with the extra point, they now trail 35-24. They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick. Few anxious moments there, but the hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. From the shotgun, they'll run it. They get him on the ground at the 33, but not before he picks up 6. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Makes the grab on third. Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up. Down to the 18-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Quarterback on the keeper. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Fights through the pile and picks up a couple down to the 16. And the Rebels headed quickly to the line. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Handoff to the lone back. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone. A great chance to put this game away with a score here on 1st and goal. With the game in hand, the offense choosing to just have the quarterback take a knee. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. And they'll take a knee and watch this clock keep on winding its way toward a victory. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads, hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at, and I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.